What happens when a person endures circumstances that should have erased them long before they were known? For Jamie Foxx, survival was never coincidence. It was repetition, discipline, and refusal. Long before awards or standing ovations, his life was shaped by hardship that demanded endurance rather than comfort. He would later command laughter as a comedian, depth as an actor, and soul as a musician. But none of it came easily or predictably. His journey is not the story of effortless talent rising smoothly to fame, but of a child learning early that nothing would be handed to him. Each role, each performance, and each reinvention carried the weight of experience earned the hard way. Jamie Foxx's life reminds us that resilience is not loud or glamorous. It is built quietly, day by day, through persistence, discipline, and the willingness to keep going even when recognition feels impossibly far away. A childhood defined by absence. Jamie Foxx was born Eric Marlon Bishop on December 13, 1967, in Terrell, Texas, into circumstances shaped by absence rather than stability. His parents were not equipped to raise him, and within months he was placed in the care of his grandmother, Estelle Marie Talley. While this separation created emotional distance early in his life, it also placed him in an environment ruled by structure, routine, and faith. Estelle's home was modest and disciplined, offering no indulgence but plenty of expectation. Love was expressed through responsibility rather than softness, and order was seen as protection from chaos. Jamie would later reflect that his grandmother's strength shaped him profoundly, giving him boundaries when life offered uncertainty. Though he carried questions about his parents for years, he also grew up with something invaluable: a foundation built on accountability, resilience, and the understanding that effort was not optional but essential. Discipline as a form of love. In his grandmother's home, discipline was not punishment, it was preparation. Jamie's days were structured around school, church, and music, with little room for distraction or excuses. From an early age, he was introduced to the piano, where hours of practice replaced playtime, classical pieces demanded focus and repetition, while gospel music connected him to emotion and community. These lessons were not easy, but they taught him patience, timing, and control, skills that would later define his performances on stage and screen. His grandmother believed that mastery required commitment, and she enforced that belief consistently. Jamie often recalled that while he did not always understand her strictness at the time, he later recognized it as an act of faith in his potential. That discipline quietly trained him to endure pressure, accept criticism, and keep improving even when progress felt invisible. Humor as armor against loneliness. Despite structure and guidance, emotional absence still shaped Jamie's inner world. School events, birthdays, and milestones often passed without the presence of parents, leaving a quiet space where questions lingered. Rather than withdrawing, he learned to perform. Humor became his shield, a way to connect before anyone could notice the weight he carried. Making people laugh allowed him to feel seen without being exposed. Comedy was not just entertainment, it was survival. He discovered that laughter could turn discomfort into connection and pain into timing. This instinct followed him into adolescence, where humor became a defining trait rather than a coping mechanism. Yet beneath the jokes lived discipline, musical training, and ambition. Jamie learned early how to manage emotion without surrendering to it, a skill that would later allow him to move seamlessly between comedy, drama, and music, while maintaining authenticity across every form he touched. Finding direction. Through music. Music provided Jamie with something rare, a sense of control. While life felt unpredictable, the piano responded to precision and effort. Every improvement was earned, and every mistake was correctable. Gospel music deepened his emotional range, while classical training sharpened his technical ability. This combination shaped his musical identity, grounding him in both structure and soul. By the time he reached his teenage years, music had become more than a skill. It was a language. It gave him confidence, discipline, and a sense of purpose that extended beyond his immediate environment. Even as he discovered comedy later, music remained central to his identity. It taught him timing, emotional pacing, and expression, all of which translated naturally to performance. What began as obligation slowly transformed into passion, offering Jamie a path forward that felt earned rather than accidental. Stepping into the world of performance. Jamie's path into entertainment was not carefully planned. It was discovered through courage and curiosity. While studying music in college, he felt drawn to live performance in a way that formal training could not satisfy. Comedy clubs offered immediacy, an honest exchange between performer and audience. Success was instant or non-existent. Under his birth name, he struggled for opportunities, eventually choosing the name Jamie Foxx to avoid assumptions and increase his chances of being called on stage. This reinvention was not theatrical, but practical. Comedy forced him to confront failure publicly, night after night. Some performances soared, while others fell flat. Each experience taught him resilience, adaptability, and presence. Comedy sharpened his instincts and demanded emotional honesty. It also taught him how to command a room, an ability that would later become one of his greatest strengths across film, television, and music. Breaking through on television. Persistence eventually opened doors. In the early 1990s, Jamie Foxx joined In Living Color, introducing his versatility to a national audience. His characters displayed sharp comedic instincts, musical ability, and fearless creativity. For the first time, his talent reached beyond late-night clubs and into households across the country. Yet visibility did not guarantee security. He was often viewed primarily as a comedian, a label that limited opportunity rather than expanded it. Determined to grow, he continued pushing for roles that showcased depth. The Jamie Foxx Show later allowed him to develop range and consistency, proving he could carry long-form storytelling. These years were foundational rather than glamorous. He was learning how to sustain success, navigate expectations, and remain patient. The climb was steady, built on years of discipline, preparation, and refusal to settle for narrow definitions of ability. Transforming talent into recognition. Jamie Foxx's career reached a turning point when he portrayed Ray Charles in Ray. The role demanded immersion, emotional vulnerability, and technical mastery. Jamie approached it with respect and precision, drawing on his musical background and emotional discipline. The performance resonated deeply, earning him widespread acclaim and an Academy Award. That same year, Collateral revealed a different dimension of his ability, earning him a second Oscar nomination and confirming his range. Recognition arrived, but it was not effortless or sudden. It was the result of decades of preparation. Jamie had spent years proving himself in spaces that offered little margin for error. Success felt meaningful because it was earned slowly. Rather than redefining him, the awards validated work he had already done quietly, consistently, and without guarantee. Navigating success and setbacks. With visibility came pressure. Not every project succeeded, and public judgment followed quickly. Jamie faced criticism, box office disappointment, and industry expectations that allowed little room for risk. Rather than retreat, he diversified. He returned to music, earning Grammy recognition, while continuing to take roles that challenged him artistically. Films like Dreamgirls, Django Unchained, Baby Driver, and Just Mercy reflected both range and intention. He refused to be confined by any single identity. Throughout this period, he remained grounded in work ethic rather than image. Setbacks were not treated as failures, but as recalibration. Jamie's response to pressure was consistency, showing up prepared, adaptable, and focused. His career became less about constant approval and more about longevity, depth, and choosing work that aligned with his evolving sense of purpose, family, responsibility, and presence. Away from the spotlight, Jamie's personal life reflected the lessons of his childhood. Becoming a father reshaped his priorities, grounding him in responsibility rather than recognition. He committed himself to being present, aware of the absence he had experienced growing up. While relationships evolved and paths changed, his role as a parent remained central. Jamie often emphasized presence over perfection, choosing consistency and involvement over public image. Family became a private space where fame held little value. His dedication reflected growth, and understanding that success meant little without connection. Parenthood offered perspective, reinforcing values rooted in accountability and care. Rather than repeating the past, he consciously built something different. Through presence, honesty, and effort, he transformed personal history into intention, proving that cycles can be broken through awareness and commitment. Endurance. Beyond the spotlight. In recent years, Jamie Foxx faced serious health challenges that required privacy, recovery, and patience. He stepped away from public life, focusing on healing rather than speculation. His return was measured, reflective, and grounded in gratitude. Rather than framing the experience dramatically, he acknowledged the importance of rest, support, and perspective. The moment reinforced what his life had already shown. That endurance is not dramatic, but deliberate. Jamie returned with the same qualities that had defined his journey from the beginning: discipline, humility, and resilience. His story was never about invincibility, but about recovery, learning, and continuation. Through every phase, he demonstrated that strength is not measured by uninterrupted success, but by the ability to adapt, recover, and move forward with clarity and purpose. A legacy built on resilience. Jamie Foxx's life stands as a testament to persistence shaped by discipline and empathy. From a childhood marked by absence to a career defined by versatility, his journey reflects growth earned through effort rather than ease. His legacy is not confined to awards or recognition, but to the example he sets, showing that resilience is learned, creativity is cultivated, and purpose evolves over time. He turned structure into freedom, humor into connection, and challenge into opportunity. Jamie Foxx did not simply succeed. He endured, adapted, and remained present. His story reminds us that greatness is rarely sudden and never accidental. It is built quietly, through years of commitment, resilience, and the courage to continue even when the outcome is uncertain.